This is Signature Television Unscripted. You are welcome to another exciting edition. My name is Mike Obani. Today we are going to look at the controversial ambassadorial nominees list. Then the Enugu State budget for 2026, which is put at 1.62 trillion naira. The appointment of General Christopher Musa as the Minister of Defense. Don't forget the fact that he was recently removed at the CDS. Then we go to River State, where 16 members of the River State House of Assembly have again, I say again because previously they had decamped to APC from PDP, but yesterday they said they are decamping again to APC, and we're going to look at the issues surrounding these double decampment, if I may use that word. Once again, my name is Mike Obani. With me in the studio to to discuss these issues. On my right is Dr.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Akujobi, you are welcome to the studio. And Mr. Christian Madoka, you're our big boss here. You're welcome to the studio. You can take any of the issues. It's not. We're not going to follow it numerically as I listed them. Whichever one you want to talk about, you can start.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here. Maybe because I'm an economist. Let me look at the Enugu State budget. A budget is a proposal, but it must be based on facts because it's a projection. Enugu State's internal revenue performance for this year and for the year past, 2024, did not meet the projections. Despite that, the government has projected even higher internally generated revenue. And then the overall budget, 1.6 trillion. I mean, it doesn't seem to add up. Compared to Anambra State that budgeted 700-something billion, Enugu State is a poorer state. If you look at the statistics, the population of Anambra State is higher. Income per person from Anambra State is higher than Enugu State. Anambra State is part of the oil producing states and is getting something. So where is the basis for this projection? But it is the nature of all budgeting, mostly in our type of country. They over-project revenue and under-project cost in order to get approval. But if you look at the past, it is more of the same. And if I think Enugu State is doing land registration, maybe they think that they can get money from those things. But like somebody told me, a pensioner that is being owed his pension and gratuity since 2011, you come to his house where he's managing to take shelter and ask him to pay you. Where will he get the money from? And I don't think there's any mechanism from deducting what government is owing you from what the government is asking you to do. So I think the Enugu State budget is euphoric. Euphoria. When people are euphoric, they can be jumping.
Makes you happy. Makes you clap.
Like I'm sure if Christian went to the village now, children will be jumping up, not knowing that one loaf of bread is now 2,000 and he didn't buy it.
That sounds so funny. But since we are picking from the interest, let me talk about the ambassadorial list.
Yes.
You started and said it's controversial.
Yes.
And I was like, why should an ambassadorial list be controversial?
Yeah.
The president of the country have this prerogative by constitution to appoint ambassadors, non-career and career one. And this is what you have witnessed. What we're looking at is the characters, the people appointed. And we'll be looking at them from our personal assessment of them. On a separate platform, I've said that if everybody is as good as your principal said you are, as your boss say you are, and if I've given Mr. Ban a work to do earlier for me, and he delivered. Now delivering for me, is a result. Whether it's positive or negative, it depends on how you see it. Okay. So if I have sent Yakub Mohammed as the INEC chairman to go and do a work, and he perfected the election and delivered the election, then some people say the election was not fair. Some people say it was fair. Some people, and the man who had the major interest said, "You have done well." I mean, the reward of more good work is more work. Yeah. Now you have delivered well on INEC. Come and take a job as an ambassador. And we are here talking about controversy.
No, but the environment differs. Election is a different environment to representing your country in another environment.
Government money is government that determine the two agencies. Yes. It's government that will know which one is. It's all government. Government owns INEC, appoints chairman of INEC. Government has constitution to operate. He appoints ambassadors. So he look at it on the top. At the point the presidency is operating, from him is clearer, the view is clearer. But I'm just saying the controversy point of view. It's all personal views about if it is where a government uses personal opinion or large opinions of the stakeholders to say, from what I've heard about you, Dr. Stan, that the people feel that you should be the ambassador. So you are appointed. Because if I appointed Dr. Stan, he said, Mr. President, why me? So the people say you are qualified. But here, it's the one who pays the piper that dictates the tune. Yeah. And we have gone comfortably well with it in Nigeria. It's not now if I am a president, I should be interested in who is my ambassador in any of the countries. Yeah. That's what one governor told me. At the point, he said, how do you know that if I won't be interested in who is my commissioner of finance, who is my commissioner? So as a governor, I should be interested. So whatever you feel, the president of the country feel that the people he has nominated should go and represent our country. It doesn't mean we shouldn't have opinion about those people. I have opinion about several of the people he has appointed. But at this point, those opinions are playing down. The ones that are playing up is appointment by the principal and the assignment given to them. And we should be looking at if what we feel about those people play out again, is at that point we come out and say, we talked about this, we said it, but nobody listened to us. So at this time, let's give the opportunity. The list has grown to 65. Out of the 65, we cannot aggregate the number that are career and non-career. When it was 32, we should talk about 17. But now that it has grown to about 65 or 62, I couldn't at this point now list out which one are non-career. But among the non-career,
we know the non-career ambassadors.
Yes, among the non-career. I have people, if you ask me to say, I will tell you in one simple word, that have no business to be anywhere near ambassadorial position representing Nigeria.
It looks to me, Dr. Ukenya, it looks to me as if the whole thing is a huge joke, or let me state it this way. I mean, job for the boys, because for those of us who have been foreign affairs editors and who have interacted, with embassies, diplomats in Nigeria, we know the character, we know the stuff those ambassadors, those high commissioners are made of, and you discuss with them, they tell you everything about Nigeria, things that you don't even know. Okay, so they are very knowledgeable about your country, So, but my worry really is that in a situation where we find ourselves in the economy of the country is so poor, in a parlous situation, is it compulsory that we must have ambassadors in across the world? I mean, I'm looking at having ambassadors in strategic countries like the United Kingdom, United States, Japan, China. When our economy improves, we can have as many ambassadors and high commissioners. Is it compulsory that we should have? I mean, in a situation where we have this character of people going to represent us.
Well, like Chris tried to educate us, it's like personal assessment. But, we don't know them personally because they don't live in our streets. But it's what they do publicly. If somebody had been agents against ambassador's enemies or perceived enemies, then turned around against the ambassador when he was employed by another person, then turned around against the person who employed him, you know, attacking people left and right. We, from the public system, we say that this person is like a weathercock.
It doesn't have stable character.
And therefore, thinking that Nigeria is a republic, that it cannot represent us. But Nigeria is not a republic. I think that's the one mistake we make. Although the Constitution wrote Federal Republic of Nigeria, not a republic. A republic has a way of behaving. The River State people we talked about, when they read the letter to themselves, they took a group photograph saying, "On your mandate we stand." I don't know whether it's the president's mandate, Fubara's mandate, or their own mandate. That is one. Now that we are, I can say that we are neither a republic nor a federation. An ambassador is a legate, somebody delegated to represent somebody. People choose their own character. So their character is not different from the character of the person sending them. Mm-hmm. If we were a federation, the Congress, our House of Assembly, National Assembly, will interrogate it and say, ambassadors from other countries in Nigeria know about these persons. They may reject them and create problem for us. Or if they accept them, they may not take them serious. But if everybody, including the judges, are standing on the mandate of one man, then the name of the country should have been changed to one mandate republic or one mandate kingdom. So it's really hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious to have that kind of group of people called ambassadors of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and you give them a note saying, "This fellow represents me." They represent the person who will sign that note.
Oh, Mr. Madoka, I'm still on the issue of the number of ambassadors and high commissioners that we have at this point in time. I'm worried, about the state of our economy. I also know that some of those embassies, poorly funded. Okay. So, is it compulsory that we should have, so many
to answer your question
ambassadors?
Point blank, to answer your question point blank, it is not necessary. But you remember, let's look at the balancing effect, the Let's Play Balancing Act. Because of people believe that why Nigeria name smells so much, despite that we are the people who put the bad odor.
Yes.
Why it was smelling so high is there was nobody to clean it up in all those places you counted as strategic. But no country in the world is less strategic when it comes to smelly image. Now, if the president had decided at this time, say, okay, because of the delay, there is a lot of smelly image about Nigeria, then let me clean up by appointing ambassadors. Probably on that one, he said yes. But you are asking about, at this point, Nigeria is poor. When Nigeria can afford to refurbish a vice presidential house with 21 billion, when Nigeria can afford to buy new jets for the president, buy the most expensive car in the world that's at the record of now, buy presidential yachts, move with over 290 cars in a convoy, and travel, the highest travel president, and you are here saying we are poor? I don't think we are poor. Management might be our problem.
Okay.
So if you think at this time the president has decided that we should manage well and appoint 65 ambassadors to go and reopen some of the moribund commissions, ambassadorial posts in some countries, well, these are all using strategies to solve one problem or another. But I can see your point. solving one problem, creating many is not moving one step forward. So that's what I can see in your opinion. But that is it. It's still subjective.
Okay.
At any point, these people we call presidents of, especially of Nigeria, operate. Whenever there's this issue of second tenure, we at times have seen over time that quest for second tenure, a lot of things are given to the president or the incumbent for that second tenure. He buys into it, hook, line, sinker, just because of that. He used the governor's positions in states when they want second tenure, the attitude and how they pull out money together to buy up that. That is something I think that is a microcosm. So whatever that means is what is happening playing out in Nigeria. Nigeria might be poor because but the way people who manage our economy do it does not portray us as poor. And so it might be your word against that. Nigeria has money to pay for. The only thing that they decide to spend those money where their minds are. Like the Bible says, where your money is where your heart is.
No, I like to add something to that. Sometimes appointing people ambassadors is a way of removing them from the scene.
Okay.
I'm sure that
that is if you see that that they are dangerous, they are a threat to your ambition.
As we that Atiku was still in APC, he could be made ambassador to China to make him absent.
Okay.
Or if Obi was a member of APC, he could be made ambassador to Argentina, so that he doesn't come home at all. That's number one.
Okay, let's look at it as a good riddance to bad rubbish. Is that what you are saying?
Strategically positioning people to have a
lot of countries, not just in Nigeria.
Okay.
If you are a rival, you are sent to be an ambassador. But we know that Nigerian ambassadors, because they are poor and ill-behaved, especially all those non-career, you will see them making statements about president's mandate will stand within the country. But in Nigeria here, we have not had any ambassador for other countries saying something about their country that is adverse or taking positions for or against their president. They talk about their country. If you go to the South Korean embassy, they're always talking about products made by South Korea and how you can trade with them. What do we have to trade? So these people are being sent, one, to remove troublesome people, secondly, to compensate them so that their states or their constituencies will vote for the second term. And then to protect some people. You know, during the campaign for the second term of Buhari, the 3 army military chiefs were removed, and 3 of them had problems. One of them was head of the joint command in the Lake Chad region. It was Goodluck Jonathan that appointed him and gave him a lot of money. That money ended up in Dubai. When he was caught, after he became a military chief, he said that he and his wife borrowed money to invest in property in Dubai. Of course, the fear that if the appointer lost office, that he was made ambassador. The second person there, I think the wife or somebody, was in a social investment fund, and they carried the money, did the election, although they failed. He was sent. Even the third man, there was somebody he penalized in the service wrongly. He was sent to Cameroon, although he came back as a military administrator. So throughout history, people with problem are sent out to protect them. Some troublemakers and rivals are sent out.
Yes.
To avoid.
I agree. I agree because there's one of these ambassadorial nominees who has a pending court case. You know, was accused of embezzling a humongous amount of money. Okay. So if you send him abroad, where is it?
No, if you are an excellency, you cannot arrest him again.
So very soon, Mike Obama will be sent to Sudan.
He has no crime.
No, I've been to Sudan before.
Sudan,
I've been there before. I don't want to go there again.
As ambassador, you don't want to go there as ambassador.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Now we have mentioned about the issue of some one or two military officers that had questions to answer and was sent as an ambassador. Let's come to the issue of the appointment of General Christopher Musa as the Minister of Defense. Here is somebody who, I think just 1 month ago, was removed as the CDS. And for me, I think his removal, was born out of what one might have, the appointee must have considered as incompetence on the part of the general. But today, 1 month after he was removed and retired, a lot of people have said he's a fine general, he's a fine officer and all that. He was made Minister of Defense. And just when I heard about that, I said to myself, a man that you retired yesterday, probably because you thought he was incompetent, you are making him minister. Why did you retire him in the first place?
But people say that if a woman marries two husbands, he will quickly determine which one was better. If that allusion applies here, somebody you have tried and tested and probably find it didn't match up to what you think. And then some other people who want that position, maybe it's a good position to be a CDS, are there in the lineup. And everybody's aiming, and once anybody's coming there, you have to give way. And that's the only way. Once anybody is appointed there, you have to go.
Yes, yes.
And that's what happened in his own case.
Okay.
So you have to go. But later, the issue cropped up. The issue of we are here in Nigeria, and we have the president of the National Assembly, the Senate, the highest National Assembly in Nigeria, the distinguished Senate of Federal Republic, saying that the president of America is on their neck to clean up some issues in Nigeria, especially with insecurity, bordering on genocide, mass killings, abduction, kidnapping, and all. Then, that the Igbo say when the palm nut is formed at that tip where you have a lot of horns under the palm tree, that you look for the bird that has very long. That's the case of Chris Musa. He was there, you don't value him, but only old basket are valued on the day to remove the sacrifice, to take the sacrifice to the evil forest. That's his own case. A man who has been there and commanded the army platoon separately and rose to the highest rank of being a major general in the army, can now look at and be a minister of defense, be able to oversee the whole areas, know the ground, know the terrain, know the geography. And when you look back on history, and a lot of people are saying, this man, even like you said, some international communities who are on the neck would have mentioned of them and said, what happened to this record? We know this man because we have ambassadors who are working with you in Nigeria, and they've looked through the CDSs. And then you are now in search of a Minister of Defense. And so they will ask you, so what happened to this man? So in the mouth of 2 or 3, if witnesses are established that Chief Ubani is the best presenter for signature scripted, so what are we looking for? We'll start trying other people. That means and at that point we have tension and emergency. The president declared emergency on security. Yeah. And when instead of emergency declared on security, you need somebody with that kind of mind to handle emergency. And who have handled it before to handle emergency. Okay. If you want to apply for a humanitarian job or this development job, they will ask, have you worked under emergency situation? You have to write it down. And they will ask you to explain. Okay. That will increase your chances of being employed because most humanitarian organizations work under emergency. So if Chris Musa had worked with Nigerian Army, rose through the rank, went on peacekeeping mission, where Nigeria was ranked highest on 7 big brothers, 7 other nations, and now you have issue of insecurity in Nigeria. What better option do you have? You want to politicize it? If you do, it will be worse for us. And that's my summary of that.
Dr. Keji, I'm worried about the cost to the nation over the removal and the retirement of General Musa. When you are removed, retired at that level, a whole lot of generals, a whole lot of military officers will be retired alongside you, you know, to make way for the new person that is coming to take over. I'm worried about. I mean, it's like the president or the presidency or the military or whoever advised the president to remove General Musa as CDS at the time that it happened. You know, they didn't do a good job. You know, against the backdrop of what we lost. I mean, if you were there, those generals that were retired, if you were still there, those generals that were retired wouldn't have been retired. They would still be. They would have still been in, you know, in the military. You know, are you bothered as I am?
There are many things to bother about, really, but it just shows that Nigeria is not a republic. Because if Nigeria was a republic and they had 3 arms of government, these things would be checkmated. But what has happened to me shows that there is no limit to what they will do to hold office, whatever the cost. Whatever the cost. For me, what is important is that General Christopher Musa was the kind of person that was vocal. You know, there was a time that some people were killed in Edo State. Some people from Kano who said they went on hunting. It was not his duty to make a comment, but he made a comment threatening the people who must have killed them. I took interest. I said, is this man an army officer? This is not your schedule.
Yeah.
But he was maybe speaking for his region. Now, when he was dropped, maybe because he may carry the same character when he hosts a meeting with the president. Maybe the president is indicating that these kidnappers in this southeast, leave them and then them. And he opens up. I say, no, my commander there, I have given him instruction. He could have been dropped for such a thing. And if he was dropped for lack of subordination, I will say that he's lucky. Alex Bade, Chief Marshal, after meeting with Buhari, he was laid off and he was shot dead in his farm. And the government has not inquired into his killing. So Musa may be lucky, or may be lucky for now. Because when he was removed, when he was in office, himself and the Bishop Kuka appeared to be representatives of Southern Kaduna and some part of Middle Belt, and their cooperation with the president appeared to be okay with the people. In the last election, the people from his area, Zangon Kata, voted for PDP, so voted for Labour. But that PDP candidate had already come to APC. You can see how people were criticizing Bishop Kuka for minimizing allegations of genocide. And people were aggrieved when Musa was removed. So his being reappointed was like 2 strategies or 2 tactics to give one strategy to bring him back, to see if you can mollify those who are aggrieved, and then weaken him. Because when he was a general, he could speak his mind. The officers behind him will be a threat to anybody who wants to deal with him. Now that he's a minister, he can be dropped, and Nanuga will announce it, that in view of the missing eyeglass of the president, that the Minister of Defense has been asked to go on leave for the next 2 weeks. People will be saying, eyeglass, minister.
He will just retire for health reasons. Badru did that. So Badru said he was going for health reasons. And we know the truth. We know why. We know why. Why he was removed.
Any reason could be brought up by the president.
He's in a weaker position now, and that's why you find that Igbo people have problem in Nigeria. If he was an Igbo person, truly, if you invite him to come and take the ministerial appointment, he will thank you. But he will tell you that after the meeting on Monday following OKK, I will tell my people, whatever they tell me, I will come back to you. He said, no, but it's a privilege to you. He said, let me just tell them, because they have planned reception for me for retiring from the army, and I want them to hold fire. The next time you see him, he will say no. That's why Ebichukiwe could look Babangida in the face and say, look, we never discussed this thing about OIC.
Yeah.
And when it was national parade, Abacha said he should go in before him. He said, look, this is a state function, not a military function. In the military, you are chief of defense staff, you are ahead of me. But state function, national day,
Political.
I will go in, you will go in before me. When he said, look, I'm going. Duncan Bali, who was playing with them, you know, they were insulting him, he remained. Eventually, they removed him. It's only when they removed him that he started speaking. So, it can reveal to you why different characters in the country are not accepted. If you watched television yesterday where Musa was addressing the soldiers, he was still talking as a general. But a minister is a policy maker.
Yes.
Defense.
In fact, I was just going to come to that.
He was giving order.
Dr. KJ, I was going to come to that because I just hope that General Musa will be less vocal, you know, now that he's Minister of Defense. Do you know that?
Why do we want him less?
No, you know, so that he doesn't put himself into unnecessary trouble. You know, he did say that brigadier, you know, the brigadier general was killed by he said they're going to investigate, you know, how this general was killed in a situation where he was supposed to have, you know, go along with soldier. Brigadier general be alone at the time that he was speaking. And you don't know the thinking. The thinking of those who plan to move. Gentlemen, let's go to the drama in Rivers State Assembly. Yeah. I call it drama because these guys, the legislators, I mean...
So who is writing the script and who is the director of this Nollywood? Part 2. Fubara and the Rivers State House of Assembly Part 2. Because the Part 1 played out and you know the outcome. Yeah. It was 6 months. And 6 months that ended in good time, not, you know, was not added or removed. 6 months that ended, you know what? It's not from my mouth you hear. But then as long as I will hear, the drama that led us to emergency, for the first time, emergency was declared. The second time is on security, the president did. So the presidency has made record of declaring to emergency. First was Rivers State, and it was drama that was played by House of Assembly and Fubara, the sitting governor. And now, the emergency insecurity in Nigeria. Well, let's look at this, the part 2 of the Rivers State drama. The drama of obscenity, the drama of confusion, the drama of the more you look, the less you see. First, it was funny that they have become comedians. You mentioned here they are defecting to APC for the second time. And the APC kept quiet. The ruling party. They had, you know, when Nigeria, when it favors you, keep quiet. Nobody has said anything. And nobody has queried it. And we have the courts. We have the learned gentlemen, the judiciary. We have all of them in Rivers State and outside. And all of them, we have the... Nobody has said, can anybody eventually declare within few months to a party? And there were evidences of declaration the first one. I said, where the evidence you declared the first time, they didn't present. It was in the court. Now, the second time they're declaring, what's the evidence that they declared the other day? And then you now look at who is blowing this flute they are dancing or playing this drum. Some people have said, well, the person they suspected said, I am not aware.
Yeah.
You know, it sounded like our former president, may God bless his soul, Buhari, General Buhari.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry, my producer is warning me. Let's leave it there. Yeah. Wike said, as the Minister of Federal Capital Territory said, they didn't inform him. You know, so you wonder who was the architect, you know, behind this drama.
We are here on Signature Unscripted.
Yes.
What we are talking about is Wike scripted.
Yeah. So okay, Wike scripted. Wike scripted.
The collaboration of the
Wike scripted the drama. Gentlemen, it's been an exciting conversation. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope, I pray that we do it another day. By the way, Happy New Month to each and everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We are in the season of Advent. Let us have the outlook that things will be okay. Yeah. And if we wait, God will bring showers of blessings.
Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Mike Obani. Thank you for listening to us. I hope we'll make it another day, and keep listening and watching Signature Television. Thank you very much.